Are around 2 hours remaining of the transfer window here in Scotland, and here to bring us all up to speed is our sports reporter Martin Dowden. Martin, firstly, you feeling all right? Is the phone...
I can't believe there's 2 hours left, to be honest, Lewis. It's absolutely tragic. But yeah, a lot happening, especially in the last half hour.
Absolutely.
Let's start with Celtic. Adam Ida, he's
Yes.
been hanging around Glasgow for maybe the last 24 hours or so. He was here to do a medical. We had expected that to go through, a loan deal from Norwich City, a Republic of Ireland international. It hasn't been confirmed as yet by Celtic. I know Celtic fans are very anxious for signings in general. So yeah, on the edge of their seats there. You know, Brendan Rodgers has talked a lot in recent weeks about needing to add quality and needing to trim the squad also, and they have done that with Mikey Johnston going to West Bromwich Albion. We expect David Turnbull as well to move on to Cardiff City. I know he was down there having a medical earlier today. That hasn't been confirmed as yet, but as things stand, Celtic have only added Nicholas Kuhn to the squad, and I'm sure Celtic fans want more.
I'm sure, yeah, and the managers always want more, don't they? But I'm sure he'll be thinking that. The other side of Glasgow, Rangers, of course, in the last 20 minutes or so, I think, have just confirmed a new arrival as well.
Indeed they have. A young Colombian winger, Oscar Cortez. They've signed him on loan initially. He comes from Lens. We've been practising that off air, Lewis. Yeah, they do have an option to buy in the summer, so maybe a slight project there. But he did go for 3.75 million to Lens in the summer, only made 4 appearances for them, so maybe something to prove there. That's in addition to Fabio Silva, who joined earlier in the window on loan. Mohamed Diamonde, who came in from Northland. He came in loan initially, but there is an obligation to buy there, so that's one for the future there. A lot of hope around that player in particular for Rangers.
Loans with options to buy seems to be a bit of a trend, doesn't it? Another kind of big story today, Martin, that you've kind of been across in various aspects is Kevin Van Veen. It was to and fro. Tell us what's happened there.
Now, well, the backdrop to that is if you're not a Motherwell fan, you might not be overly familiar with him. 29 goals for Motherwell last season, quite the player, as you can see one just going in there. A lot of interest in him. He's been back in his homeland with FC Groningen. It's not worked out there. 3 teams in particular were interested, Motherwell being one of them. They couldn't afford to cover most of the wages there. St Mirren were in there, but they appear to have lost out to Kilmarnock, who I believe have secured a loan signing until the end of the season. Yeah,
and this is what keeps you very, very busy, Martin. It's not always just players signing. Of course, it's some players not signing or not leaving, and we saw that in Edinburgh, didn't we, with Lawrence Shankland, or we think we have for now. What's the latest with Shankland's future?
Yeah, well, the latest is that Hearts seem to have concluded business, so Hearts fans can breathe a sense, or a sigh of relief rather. He's been so prolific for them all season. He's the captain. They were anxious to keep him. They've offered him 2 new deals in improved terms. He hasn't signed that yet, but as that window ticks towards a conclusion, I think Hearts fans can feel safe that he'll be there for the remainder of the season.
Crucial to everything that Hearts do, isn't he, with his goals? And, well, Kevin Van Veen similar, so it'll be interesting to see what he does with Kilmarnock. Let's talk about Hibs then. Some loan signings again there, and interestingly, another Bournemouth arrival.
There is another Bournemouth arrival. Of course, the link-up with Bournemouth, well, you've already covered that in this show. Owen Bevan has joined a centre-half, and he joins another centre-half, Nectarios Triantis from Sunderland. I had to read that one, I'm afraid. But he does have previous working with the manager, Nick Montgomery, in Australia, so he knows him very well. So, shoring up the back line, I'm told there might be another for Hibs. I can't give you any detail on that right now, but watch this space.
Yes, watch this space and keep across it on the BBC Sport website, of course, as well.
Absolutely.
One that I want to talk to you about, Martin, is a fascinating story, and it might not be one that many of the viewers are aware of. From Lowland League to Premier League, Albion Rovers striker Joe Bevan moving to Burnley. That is quite a unique story, isn't it?
It's absolutely brilliant. There's hope for us all yet, Lewis, I have to say. He's come from Camelon Juniors. I believe Albion Rovers paid about 1,500 for him. He's now moved to Burnley. He will go into their under-21 squad, but they are set to receive a fee. I think it's around 50,000. A lot of money for them, and potential future add-ons for a player who's come from nowhere. What a story it is.
Yeah, what a goal that was as well in the Cup. It's pretty special. I guess the next couple of hours then, give us a bit of insight into what it holds for you. Is it just keeping your tabs on these clubs that look like they might do some more business?
Yeah, I think Ross County look as though they're going to add as well. We await, as we go back to the top of what we were talking about, Celtic to confirm whether Adam Ida will indeed sign, or anyone else for that matter. It will be interesting to see what happens there in the coming days with Brendan Rodgers and what he has to say about the window, given the amount of chat we've heard from him about that.
Certainly will. Well, Martin, we look forward to getting more updates and staying across it all. You've got some deadline day watching to do. 11:30, it's coming up close.
Very late. Stay tuned.
Thank you very much, Martin.